Imagine you're in the middle of a chaotic situation. Maybe it's a heated argument with someone close, a work meeting that spiraled out of control, or an unexpected crisis that completely disrupted your plans. Your heart races, your thoughts collide, and before you even realize it, you react impulsively. Then once everything calms down, regret sets in. I could have handled that differently. The problem? You let your emotions take control. In the modern world, we are constantly exposed to emotional triggers, social media, work pressures, societal expectations. Everything seems to push us toward quick, impulsive reactions. But is there a better way? Can we learn to stay calm, think clearly, and act rationally, even under pressure? The ancient Stoic philosophers believed the answer was yes. To them, true freedom wasn't about avoiding challenges, but about learning to control them internally. They developed techniques to train the mind not to be ruled by emotions, keeping reason in charge at all times. Today, you'll discover 5 Stoic techniques that can transform the way you handle stress and emotions in your daily life. If our emotions can lead us to decisions we later regret, why do we continue to act impulsively? The answer lies in how our brain works. The human mind operates in 2 systems, one fast and emotional, and the other slower and rational. The first is instinctive and protects us from immediate danger, like when we pull our hand away from fire, without thinking. The second requires reflection and analysis, allowing us to make wiser decisions. The problem is that in moments of stress, the emotional system takes control before reason has time to step in. And what are the consequences? Responding to a message aggressively without thinking, exploding in an argument, or making hasty decisions. At work, these reactions may seem inevitable, but the Stoics believed that emotional control was a trainable skill. And interestingly, modern science confirms this idea. Neuroscience research shows that people with higher emotional intelligence can regulate their reactions and make better decisions. This doesn't mean ignoring emotions, but rather understanding them and ensuring they don't dictate our actions. The Stoics saw this ability as essential for both happiness and freedom. For Marcus Aurelius, the last great Stoic emperor, the key to inner peace was maintaining control over what happens inside us rather than what happens outside. So how can we achieve this level of self-control? Fortunately, the Stoics left us with a set of practical techniques that can be applied in everyday life. The first is the dichotomy of control, a powerful principle that can change how you handle life's challenges. Imagine you're stuck in a massive traffic jam. Time is passing, your important appointment is approaching, and your frustration builds. You start thinking, this always happens to me. I'm going to be late and make a terrible impression. Your heart races, your breathing becomes heavy, and irritation takes over. But is this reaction inevitable? The Stoics would say no. For Epictetus, one of the greatest Stoic philosophers, all emotional suffering comes not from what happens, but from how we interpret events. He taught a simple yet powerful principle: divide everything in life into 2 categories, what you can control and what you cannot. Traffic, other people's opinions, the past. Beyond your control, your reactions, thoughts, and decisions, completely within your control. If you shift your focus to what you can control, frustration disappears. The traffic jam is still there, but your inner peace remains intact. This technique, known as the dichotomy of control, is an antidote to anxiety and stress. Instead of wasting energy trying to change the uncontrollable, you redirect your attention to how you will respond. Try it now. Think of something that's bothering you. Ask yourself, can I control this? If the answer is no, let it go. If the answer is yes, act rationally. By training this mindset, you start living with greater clarity and ease. And as you get used to anticipating challenges, your ability to stay calm strengthens even more. This is where premeditation of evil comes. In a Stoic technique that teaches you to prepare your mind before problems arise. If the dichotomy of control teaches us to accept what we cannot change, premeditatio malorum helps us face the unexpected with composure. The Stoics believed that much of our suffering comes from being caught off guard when something goes wrong, and we are unprepared. To prevent this emotional reaction, they practiced an exercise called premeditatio malorum, which means premeditation of evil. Marcus Aurelius did this every morning. Before starting his day, he reflected on the challenges he might face. Today I will encounter ungrateful, selfish, and impatient people. There will be obstacles in my path, but none of this can affect me if I am prepared. This mindset builds emotional resilience. When a problem arises, your mind has already anticipated it, so you are not overwhelmed by panic or anger. Try it now. Think of an important upcoming event. Ask yourself, what could go wrong? How would I react if it happened? What is the best way to prepare for it? By predicting difficulties, you reduce their emotional impact and respond with clarity. This practice is not pessimism, it's strategy. To further reinforce emotional self-control, the Stoics relied on a powerful tool, reflective writing, a method practiced by Marcus Aurelius that can transform the way we deal with emotions. Have you ever found yourself replaying a bad moment over and over in your head, unable to find a solution? The Stoics had a practical way to deal with this, writing about their emotions and challenges daily. Marcus Aurelius, one of the greatest emperors of Rome, did this every night. His personal journal, later published as Meditations, was not written for others. It was an honest conversation with himself. He recorded his failures, reflected on his emotions, and reinforced Stoic principles. Modern science confirms the effectiveness of this practice. Studies show that writing about emotions reduces anxiety and improves mental clarity. When we put our thoughts on paper, we shift from a reactive state to an analytical one, activating the rational part of the brain. How to practice the Stoic journal. In the morning, write down 3 challenges you might face during the day and how you want to respond. At night, reflect on your emotions and ask yourself, did I act according to my values? If something bothers you, write about the problem as an external observer without judgment. This simple habit trains your mind to respond rather than react impulsively. But what happens when you face direct criticism and provocation? The next Stoic technique teaches you how to develop strategic indifference, a true emotional shield. Imagine someone unfairly criticizes you. You feel anger, defend yourself, and spend the entire day dwelling on it. But was that reaction really necessary? The Stoics believed that other people's opinions only have power over us if we allow them to. Epictetus said, if someone insults you, unless you accept the insult, it belongs to them. This means you can choose not to be affected. This ability is called strategic indifference, learning to ignore what does not contribute to your inner peace. It does not mean being cold or indifferent, but rather controlling which battles are worth your energy. How to apply this technique? When criticized, ask yourself, does this affect my essence? If not, let it go. Adopt the observer's mindset. Imagine the criticism was directed at someone else. Would you react the same way? Practice the Stoic response. Instead of arguing, try simply smiling and moving on. Not only does this preserve your tranquility, but it also disarms the other person. Strategic indifference strips external attacks of their power. To reinforce this mindset, the Stoics adopted an even deeper principle, AMOR FATI, the total acceptance of life as it is. If there is one thing that truly disrupts our emotional balance, it is resisting what has already happened. When life doesn't go as planned, we fight reality, feel frustrated, and suffer. But the Stoics had a different approach. Instead of rejecting unpleasant events, they embraced them completely. This idea is known as AMOR FATI, or love of fate. For the Stoics, it was not enough to simply accept difficulties. They believed we must embrace them, because every challenge is an opportunity for growth. Seneca once said, "Do not wish for things to happen as you want them to. Wish instead for them to happen as they do, and your life will be serene." In other words, instead of asking, "Why did this happen to me?" the Stoic asks, "How can I learn from this?" How to practice Amor Fati? Reframe obstacles. Instead of seeing a problem, view it as a challenge to make you stronger. Accept the past. What has happened is already beyond your control. Your only power lies in how you respond. Train gratitude for the unexpected. Even difficulties shape who you become. Adopting this mindset lifts a huge weight off your shoulders. You stop fighting the inevitable and start living with greater ease. Now that you know these 5 Stoic techniques, let's recap the key lessons and how to apply them in your daily life. Stoicism is not just a philosophy, it's a daily practice to strengthen the mind and find peace amid chaos. Today, you learned 5 Stoic techniques to maintain mental clarity under pressure. Dichotomy of control. Focus only on what you can change and let go of the rest. Premeditation of evil. Anticipate difficulties and become emotionally resilient. Stoic journaling. Write to understand your emotions and prevent impulsive reactions. Strategic indifference. Ignore what doesn't deserve your energy. Amor Fati. Embrace challenges as opportunities for growth. True transformation happens when you put these principles into practice. So here's a challenge for you. Which of these techniques will you try first? Comment below. I want to know your choice. And if you want to dive even deeper into Stoicism, watch the next video. Insert related video title. There I'll reveal how Marcus Aurelius trained his mind to stay calm even in the toughest situations. If this content resonated with you, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.